even flora on the Arizona Trail. An Arizona trails to Philippine tales in lush green fields of the Philippines. Motorbikes weaving through village scenes. New friends made along the way, sharing stories at the break of day.
Hello and welcome to Arizona Trails, Philippine Tales. My name is Steve and welcome to week 64 of the Philippine house build. But before we get into that, I'll give you a TPF update. I have just completed my 5th week of post-op surgery, and some of the things that has helped over the time. I think last week I mentioned having a compression sock. I actually also, a couple things I added to my diet. Usually I've always taken creatine for working out and just everyday life. It was part of my regimen that I added. So now I added 2 things. I added HMB, which basically prevents muscle breakdown. And I also added bone broth also to my diet, and it seems to have helped. I mean, definitely the scar or where the cut to the incision is healing a little bit faster, I think, probably due to the collagen of the bone broth. But here is what my leg looks like now. So here is the line of the incision. You can see it going down. It's actually, like I said, it's really starting to heal quite well right in here. But as you go up, you can actually see some sutures that are still in. There's a suture there, a couple of sutures right there. And then there is, of course, a suture there. And I think there's another suture right there. So next time when I go to the doctor, I will definitely point those out. The only dead skin that I have, I got dead skin, pretty much on this side of the incision. So this is all dead right in here, but slowly coming back. And like I said, I have started a new training going into my 6th week. So going into my 6th week, I've actually started what's called toe touch weighted weight bearing. So toe touch weight bearing. Basically, it's putting my foot down and going through the motions of walking with crutches. I also do some different exercises. So Flora was for weeks 2 through 5. There's 3 basic exercises I did. The doctor, first said to make sure that I'm constantly moving my foot back and forth, which does help with the muscle soreness around the ankles and going up your leg there. And then Flora would always push down just above my kneecap to get the stiffness out, and then also push my leg towards me to try and get my leg to go 90 degrees. And then even before that, or during that time, she was making it go further than 90 degrees. So those were the basic exercises. But now, since I started this toe touch weight bearing, some of the exercises I'm doing is leg lifts, clamshells. I'm even using a stretch band to push on, sort of like if I was putting weight on my leg. So I'm trying to push my legs through the band and then bring it back as far as I can past the 90-degree bend. And then also I'm standing on the crutches, putting my foot forward and trying to do toe raises, so that way it actually hits my calves. And then also, besides the clamshells and the leg lifts, I'm also doing hip flexors too, to get my hips off the ground. And a lot of that does work the hams and the quads. You just really don't realize how much the hams, the quads, and the calves really need. I mean, I'm even working out my good leg. So that's about it on the TPF update. Like I said, I've seen people start walking between even their 5th and 7th week. So I think I'm going to try to put a little more weight down on my leg just to get it used to ready to start walking and know how to start walking. All right, now we're going to go on to the week 64 house build with Flora, and here are some things to look out for during her video. All right, onward to week 64 of the Philippine house build. Flora will actually walk around the side of the house, which is the side that has the demonstration of the gray on the top wall there. But when she does walk to the back of the house, you will see that they are starting to put the columns, or getting ready to put in columns for the structure that will hold the water tanks and the water filtration system. So they're going to start that. You will see that the wall is a little bit taller. She'll continue walking around, and when she gets to the lanai area, you'll see an opening in the lanai. And I think what that is that we will actually have an opening to where when you're sitting on the lanai, you can see out towards the road area, or the road coming up towards the house. So we'll have that opening there, and she'll continue on. And then once she gets inside the house, there's a lot of back and forth inside the house. And I think the reason for that is that when she does go in, she notices that one of our lights for the bedroom, which was actually supposed to go in the master bedroom, was put up into the living room. So that was the first thing that she started to discuss with one of the workers there, that she was saying, well, that light needs to be in the master bedroom and not into the living room area. And we actually bought a second one of the same light that will go into the master bedroom. So we'll have the light that you see in the living room will actually be two of those in the master bedroom. But they also put up the pin lights all around the area there in the living room. And you'll also see the kitchen light that we got that's supposed to go above the island. Now, the way that it's supposed to work is that light that's above the island is in the center of that island. But for some reason, they have a second light extension there, and they wanted us to buy a second of what is available on the kitchen area above that area. So they wanted us to have a second light, the light that goes above the island, have another one of those, but really that one light is supposed to be in the kitchen above the island. So that's not what we want either. So we only want that light to be centered. The other light in the living room needs to be put into the master bedroom. And then we ordered a second light that's the same for the master bedroom. And then what you'll also see is, as she's going back into the room area, you'll see that our door locks have been put on the doors. So they came and unlocked the doors. A couple of the locks haven't been put on yet, but I think all the doors have been put on. So she'll go into the different bedrooms there. It pretty much looks like it did the previous weeks. Not much has been done, just the doors and the door locks. The only other thing, again, that needs to be done, she goes outside to the patio area of the master bedroom. You'll see the wall that's going up there. Definitely you don't have a view from the wall that's in front of the master bedroom patio. You'll just see the top of the mountains and the tree lines there. So I think the only opening that we'll have, probably with angled bars, will be the lanai area. And then she'll go back through again, and then she'll talk again to the workers that were there, just to go ahead and reemphasize that, yep, those lights need to be changed. She goes into the dirty kitchen area, looks at the doors there. She also examines how many more door locks need to be installed, plus she wanted to make sure that they had the right door lock for the front door of the house, which that door hasn't been put in yet. She also looked at the powder room bathroom, and that hasn't been tiled. And then also the helpers' quarters, that bathroom also hasn't been tiled. So those are the two places that still need to be tiled. So powder room still needs to be tiled, and then the helpers' bedroom bathroom also needs to be tiled. And that's pretty much where we are for week number 64 of the Philippine house build. Thank you for joining and seeing all the changes that have taken place. Continue to stay tuned for house updates, TPF updates, and we'll go from there. Thank you again for joining Arizona Trails Philippine Tales. My name is Steve. Have a great day. Bye-bye.